Good evening. Have you ever thought that the way the temperature is today is not the same as how it has always been? There has been gradual changes over time that we may not have realized until just recently, and this is called climate change. Today I will be talking about climate change and specifically its effects on how it affects wildlife. My name is Avery Brooks, and this is my informative speech over climate change. So, whether you feel that climate change is affecting you or not, it is affecting everything on Earth, and it will affect ecosystems and many things around us that you may not realize it is affecting until you start to look into it. Today I'll be talking about how it affects wildlife and ecosystems and national parks around us, and how it just has changed the world over time. So my first main point is rising temperatures. So right here I have some images of some animals being affected by rising temperatures due to climate change. So I have polar bears right here, how their ice caps are melting, and also right here, and you can see the koalas are kind of like drained of heat. And just some more pictures of animals being affected by rising temperatures. So here's my slide over rising temperatures. There are many species that have adapted to their environments and ecosystems. Wherever they're living, they have adapted to where they are living. And whenever these rising temperatures begin to cause the weather to change, they have to learn to adapt to these new ways of weather, and this is very harsh on these animals living to have to change the ways that they have been used to living their whole lives. So I have a few examples like plants. So a bunch of omnivores, animals that rely on plants for their food, they have to adapt to the new ways that the plants are adapting, so that they are able to still provide for themselves with these plants that they are eating and using as their fuel to keep them alive. Another example is pollinators. I put specifically bees. They will have to change their patterns of pollinating due to the way that the plants that produce the pollination have adapted to the temperature changes and changed their ways because of climate change. Also, there are negative effects. I didn't go really deep on this, but there are negative effects of invasive species due to these temperature changes, that since these native species are not able to thrive as well due to the climate change, the invasive species are going into these ecosystems and being able to invade the ecosystems. My main point 2 is animal health. As you can see, I have attached a few images of animal health onto this Google slide, and you can see that they are clearly suffering because of these effects by climate change. So, going deeper into animal health, these animals are being affected by these temperatures, and they're having to adapt to new ways of life. And whenever they're having to adapt, new species who are able to withstand the rising temperatures and changes of weather are coming into their ecosystems and thriving there. And whenever these new species come into these ecosystems, they are bringing along new diseases that are going to affect these native species. And so on top of them having to change their ways of life due to these temperature changes, they're also going to have to fight off these newly introduced diseases because of these native species. My main point 3 is natural disasters. So I have attached a few images of some natural disasters that have been affected by climate change or have become stronger or more severe due to climate change. So, yes. Going deeper into this, these natural disasters are destroying many ecosystems and where these animals are living, and that is making it to where they have to fight all of this to find new places to live, on top of all the other things being caused by climate change. And this is just really hard on these animals, and not to mention that whenever these animals' habitats are destroyed, it is making the availability of land for these animals to live on smaller. So we are just gradually getting closer and closer to these ecosystems, and human life are getting closer because of all the area being destroyed by what's being caused by climate change. So to wrap things up, there are many other effects of climate change on animal life and wildlife, and there is so much that climate change is affecting. I just decided to focus on wildlife, and these few points on wildlife I could go much deeper, but this is the research I have found, and thank you for listening to my informative speech on climate change and its effect on wildlife. Thank you.